Okay, so welcome everyone to this virtual community meeting to discuss NPA 2025-0016.01. If you haven't done so already, if you could let us know who's here by typing your name and organization if you're associated with one in the chat box. If you haven't done so also, if you can mute your microphone. And if you want to turn off your video to save bandwidth, you could do that. And this meeting is being recorded and will be posted to the publicinput.com/neighborhood plan amendment cases website, which is the same link where presumably you logged on to get to this meeting tonight. If you do not want your image viewed publicly, you can turn off your camera during this meeting discussion. So as you know, the properties in the Govalle Johnston Terrace neighborhood planning area. Mark Walters will be the meeting facilitator tonight. I am Maureen Meredith. I am the Plan Amendment Case Manager, and Jonathan Tomko is the Zoning Case Manager, and this is our contact information. The agenda tonight, I'll go over basic case information, guidelines for group discussion, how to participate in this process, why is there a plan amendment application, what is a future land use map, also called a FLUM. After my presentation, Rodney Bennett, the applicant's agent, will do a presentation, and then we will go into the Q&A session of the meeting. The plan amendment case information is, the case number is NPA 2025-0016.01. Property address is 905 Shady Lane, is 0.71 acres. The project name is PNP.72. The future land use map request is to go from single family land use to mixed use office land use. The zoning case information is, the zoning case number is C14-2025-0073. The request is to change the zoning from SF3NP, which is Family Residence District Neighborhood Plan, to LOMUCONP, which is Limited Office District, Mixed Use Combining District, Conditional Overlay Combining District Neighborhood Plan. Property owner applicant is U8 Plumbers and Pipe Fitters Local 286. The agent is Rodney K. Bennett from Bennett Consulting. Guidelines for group discussion. You can type your questions into the chat at any time during this meeting. After our presentations, if you would like to speak, you could raise your hand by clicking the hand symbol on the menu bar. If we have telephone participants, you will be able to speak and ask questions during the Q&A session of the meeting, and we will call out the last 4 digits of your phone number. Attendees will be muted upon arrival, and through the staff and applicant presentations, then we will open the floor for the Q&A session of the meeting. We ask that you be respectful to each other during this meeting discussion. How to participate in the process. As I mentioned, this meeting is being recorded and will be posted to this website tomorrow morning. You can email me or Jonathan with any questions or comments that you have, and we'll include them in the staff case reports. You will get a notice in the mail of the date, time of the Planning Commission and City Council public hearings when they are scheduled. That is if you live within 500 feet of the property, and the meeting notices will have instructions on how to participate in the meetings, both in person and virtually. So why is there a plan amendment application? So neighborhood plans are adopted by City Council as amendments to the Imagine Austin Comprehensive Plan, and City Charter requires that zoning changes be consistent with the comprehensive plan. Most neighborhood plan amendments are changes to a future land use map, and most have an associated zoning application. This map shows the areas in blue that have City Council approved neighborhood plans. All of those areas have a plan document that has the vision and goals of the planning area, and most of which also have a future land use map where these colors represent broad land uses. For example, on this property, it is currently single family, which is shown in yellow, and the proposed land use is mixed use office, which will be represented in sort of the rusty, kind of brownish red. So this is a zoomed in of that future land use map in the previous screen. You can see it is currently single family, which is yellow. This is an aerial photo of the property. The future land use map overlaid, you could see again it's yellow. You have some red, which is designated as the commercial land use to the east. This is a zoning map. It shows the zoning to the north is LOMUNP. You have some CS service conditional zoning east. Again, some office zoning again to the south. To the west, you have
Maureen, you're cutting out.
okay. To the west, you have blue, which is a civic land use. This is a Google map screenshot that shows the property in relationship to the UA Local 286 existing building to the north. Screenshot of the property. This is the Imagine Austin Growth Concept Map, where these colors represent regional centers, sound centers, and neighborhood centers. The property is just south of the Springdale Station Neighborhood Center, and you can see Airport, Springdale, and East 7th Street triangle sort of around the property, and all of those streets are activities corridors. This shows public transportation in proximity to the property. You have some running along Shady Lane, Airport Boulevard, Baum Road, and also East 7th Street to the south. That ends my presentation. I'll stop sharing my screen. And Rodney, if you have a presentation, you can share your screen. If not, that is fine, and we can just go into the discussion.
Hi, everybody. I'm Rodney Bennett, representing the Plumbers and Pipefitters Union on this zoning change request. Basically, we're seeking a zoning change so that the Union Hall can have expanded parking area. They do own the property adjacent to it and in front of it on Airport Road. At this time, we don't have a site plan per se. Their intention is to utilize the existing water quality pond in the back of their property right now. They don't propose a building at this time. However, you know, in 25 years, there might be a building there, but they'd have to meet the setbacks and whatnot for that. I'm here if you have any questions, please let me know.
Thank you, Rodney. With that, we'll open up the floor, virtual floor for discussions. Does anybody have any questions at this time? Okay, and Danielle, you unmute and ask your question or make your comment, please.
Thank you. I'm Daniel Yanis, and I serve on the Govalle Johnston Terrace neighborhood contact team. So are you planning to leave the building as is and just remodel it, or were you planning to tear it down and build a building or something?
Our current plan is to leave all the buildings as they are. They do own the two buildings that you see with the gray colored roofs.
Yes.
And they own the building just to the south of that. That was the old axe throwing building.
Yeah.
They may come in there and do a remodel permit for that. Currently, there is no construction being proposed, with the exception of the parking lot.
Good. Yeah,
they have a lot of members, a lot of new members coming into the area. And when I was meeting with Chap last, he said that they are really short on parking.
What kind of activity would be going on there?
I'll let Chap answer that question, Daniel.
Hello, hi, my name's Chap Thornton. I'm the business manager for the Plumbers and Pipefitters Union. You know, we are a labor union for plumbers, pipefitters, and HVAC technicians, and we provide labor to about 35 different signatory contractors around Austin. Primary use of our building is as a training facility. We currently have about 550 apprentices from all over the Austin area that attend. They come to school in the evening. Our busiest time is from 5 to 9 p.m. Monday through Monday through Friday. That's the apprentices come 2 nights a week. It may be a Monday, Thursday. It may be a Tuesday, Friday. But our busy time is in the evenings, and they're attending classes and shop classes. And just as Rodney said, we've had a lot of growth in the last several years as Austin has grown. But we've been here a long time. We bought the original 2-acre property back in 1968, and over the years, we actually bought the tract in question. We bought from the Rosa family. Mr. Rosa actually sold us a 1/4 acre of it back in the mid '90s. That's right back behind the old AAA mill. And then in 2020, we were fortunate enough during COVID that we struck a deal with the it was an investment firm that had bought the old AAA mill that they've been there. They were here from 1968 until 2016 when they closed down the mill. But we bought that acre corner lot there at
So the activity would be mostly a training facility?
Yes, 100%, 100%. You know, our as far as our the labor union side of it, we have a meeting once a month on the third Monday.
Yeah.
But the bulk of what we do is apprenticeship training, and that's our local Austin workforce.
Thank you for that.
Yes,
I
sir.
have just another question, suggestion. You're right at the edge. Shady Lane, we've worked really hard to keep the single family designations all up and down on there. And
Yes, sir.
it's a little bit tricky, and you're on the edge, right? Because there's business and stuff north of that, and then the houses
sir.
and stuff. Well, I am going to propose something to you all, which we did on Govalle Street with a choir that went into a building there, and they had applied for a zoning change, and it's surrounded by single family, lots. And on the contact team, we really are loath to give up single family designation. So what we did in that case, which may apply to your case, and that's why I was asking about the building and any kind of what activity would be going on, because we were successful in keeping the SF3 designation for that property, but by going to the approved uses and prohibited uses, we were able to change that so that they could do their school and what they had to do there, and not have to change the zoning. So if you're going to be doing it like for offices and that kind of stuff, it might be that might be a way to have you all go in there and be able to do what you need to do without us having to change the zoning. And like I said, we had success in one case doing that. So I wanted to put that in your ear and propose that to you as an option.
Any other questions or comments?
I have my hand virtually raised.
Yeah, I was directing it towards Danielle, then I was going to come to you.
Hi, Danielle.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Candace.
Okay, Candace. Yeah.
Okay. So sort of along the lines, I'm glad I'm Candace Fox. I'm the co-chair of the Govalle Johnston Neighborhood Plan Contact Team, and also the co-chair of the Neighborhood Association, which actually this property sits within. And I'm glad Danielle asked those like clarifying questions about the use and all of this, because the zoning request sounds very intense, to be going from single family to the office and all this. I mean, I guess maybe this is something that Maureen can help understand, like I would personally hate to see some land that was zoned for housing to be turned into a parking lot. But what is the mechanism for turning something into a parking lot? Do you have to and this is a question for Maureen or whoever might know, does it this intense level of like upzoning need to occur for something like that?
Yeah, hi, this is Mark Walters. I'm facilitating tonight. I'm also a long-range planner. It
Hi,
would
Mark.
it'd be accessory off-street parking, or I assume it'd be something like that, and that would require a commercial zone. Off the top of my head, I don't know what the entry-level zone where that is allowed is, but accessory parking, because I think this would be accessory parking to the Union Hall, and that would require a commercial zone. And again, I just don't recall off the top of my head what that would be. So in order for
I
it to be
lost you. I have to start over. Hold, let me get the record again. I lost y'all.
Oh, okay.
Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Looks like it started.
Okay, thanks. Thank you, Mark.
I could help answer that question. Rodney Bennett. So the zoning that we're asking for, LO, is the first zoning category that would allow for parking.
Is that limited office?
Yes, sir. If we could get away with it in any single family zoning, sure, we would love to do it. But per the LDC, we just can't. It's the very first category.
Yeah.
Allowed.
Yeah. Well, would you all be interested in exploring the possibility of, like I said, being able to do everything that you can do and modify that or in the approved uses?
Yeah, we're open to doing a conditional overlay on it to prohibit a ton of uses.
Yeah. So
the main thing that we need to focus on is getting the parking situated. We don't want to congest the side streets and whatnot with folks coming in to the meetings.
So Maureen,
we're open to
go ahead. I'm sorry.
Consideration of anything y'all can throw at us. Definitely.
Yeah. Maureen, when we did that thing on Govalle, we talked with Joy Harden and also with Alice Glasgow. I think Alice Glasgow gave us the hint about that. And Joy researched it and said said it was possible, and we actually were able to do that very thing. And they also had parking issues. So can you explore that, or should we contact the planning department? You know, Joy Harden or somebody there that they can.
Yes, I can work with Jonathan, the zoning planner, on that and keep you in the loop.
Okay. So you can ask that question?
Yes.
Oh, great. That would be wonderful.
Daniel, just so you're aware, schools and churches can go in any zoning category. So that's why they were able to get away with it.
Yeah.
What it does is it limits their coverage and their building coverage, basically.
Yeah. Basically, in the early 90s, late 80s, the federal government passed a law saying that houses of worship
we came up with that idea of
go in any, and so this is not this would be a parking lot and not a house of worship or a educational facility.
No, but they're going to be offices, right? So
I mean, they could with that zoning. If they sell the land, it could definitely become offices.
And that's why I suggested we could do some conditional overlays on it.
A conditional overlay, maybe an MOU or a what's it called? Restrictive covenant about the zoning. Like I say, we're loath to let go of single family zoning, but we don't want to get in the way of your progress. You know, so if we can find a way that works, if we can keep the single family zoning and modify it through a conditional overlay and that stuff so that you can do what you do, then we would agree to. Same thing we did with Ted's Trees, and that held for like 25 years, where same thing with them, you know, they did their business, but they signed a restrictive covenant with us where if they ever sold it, it would revert back to single family. And so those are just things that we've done in the past that could apply to this if you all are amenable to it. And so then we can further research it. So Maureen, what would be the timeline for finding out, clarifying this information? Could that happen before the planning commission? And our contact team, we haven't met with them, but Candace and I figured that we should go ahead and participate in this meeting.
Yeah.
But the contact team would want to have a say in this, and so I'm just wondering about what the timeline or the timetable would be.
Well, probably would be good if you sent me an email with all the details so I don't miss anything when I communicate with Jonathan. And then I can work with him, and then when I get the response from him, we can go from there.
Okay.
It's definitely, since the cases aren't scheduled for planning commission or city council yet,
Oh,
I guess
good.
we have time to figure this out, if it's possible, how to do it, and if it can be done, et cetera. And then we'll just work with Rodney, you, Candace, and Jonathan to see if we can find out.
Yeah.
Can I get a little bit more information real quickly, just kind of pique my curiosity? So right now, is there a home on the property, or is it an empty lot?
There is a single family dwelling on the lot.
And does it have tenants, or is it empty, or is it vacant, or what's going on?
It is currently vacant. We purchased it from the Rosa family that had been there since 1988, and we had been in contact with them for the last 30 years, and had asked them all along if they ever considered selling, to please consider us first.
Mm-hmm.
I love that, actually, because I've known the Sosas for years and years and years. They actually participated in the creation of the Govalle Johnston Terrace plan years ago. And I love that you all aren't strangers, you're not speculators.
We've been here a long time. We don't plan on going anywhere. I mean, we're not buying this to flip it. We have chosen, and in 2008 we had an opportunity to sell out and get out of town, but we chose to demo the existing building that we had and rebuilt in 2010, and be honest with you, we just outgrown it. We've been blessed with growth, and we want to be good neighbors. We absolutely want to be good neighbors.
Great. Thank you so much. Candace, anything else that you want to?
Because I hear you saying that the classes are at night. I mean, are there adjacent properties that aren't using their parking or anything like that? Have you talked to any of your neighboring property owners about, providing that service to allow for the students to come?
There's not much parking around here. When we rebuilt our current facility, I think we got 116 parking places. When we purchased 812 Airport, the old AAA mill that housed Urban Axis. Urban Axis was our tenant after we bought that. Anyway, Urban Axis moved out at the end of May. So that gave us some relief, because we were sharing the parking there on the corner of 812 on the corner of Airport and Glissman with our tenant. So that's give us some relief. But like I said, our number one problem is parking. There's not really any, neighbors. You've got the restaurant across the street, very limited parking. You've got the sheet metal training center, very little parking. We try to avoid the street parking. There's some street parking on Shady Lane. And I know y'all see it on the weekends with the use of the soccer fields and on the school district property back there. We try to avoid the street parking on Glissman and Shady and keep it all consolidated, and been successful so far. But just need that need that little extra room to try to keep it
It's a
confined. to
pretty
the
good
property
sized
we have.
lot, right? It's a pretty good
Sorry?
sized lot.
I'm sorry, what?
It's a pretty good sized lot.
Right at 3/4.
Yeah, it's 3/4 of an acre. It's a large residential lot.
Do you have a ballpark idea of just, I mean, I won't hold you to anything, just a ballpark idea of how many spaces you could accommodate in there?
I, be honest with you, I don't know.
Yeah, I haven't gotten that far.
Yeah. When we go through the site development, if this is approved, our next step would be going through the site. I'm taking words out of my agent Rodney's mouth, but I'm assuming we'd sit down with an engineer and go through the site development plan process and figure that out. We got storm as far as rainwater and storm drain collection. We've got an existing one in the back of our property, and hopefully the engineering would work out with the drainage that we could, perhaps modify that existing one a little bit to be in conjunction with the property there at 905 Shady.
Okay, so so then are you available? Would you be able to meet with the contact team as a whole? We usually meet in the evenings. We need probably about like a 2-week leeway so we can assemble.
Yes.
It'd be virtual.
Rodney, you want to help me answer that one?
Yeah, we're more than happy to meet with y'all. I do need to let you know I have a trip planned in September, the 15th through the 18th. I will not be available of September.
Oh, hopefully we could get to it before then.
I hope so. Yeah, we're more than happy to meet with y'all.
Okay, and who would I need to and I need to contact Rodney for that?
Yes.
Okay. And then Maureen, you wanted an email about the details after we speak, or?
I think she wanted a clarifying email about, based on what Danielle was talking about, what are some of the possible options other than the rezone? Is that
Yeah.
accurate summation?
Yeah, Candace, I can get with you and we can probably draft something together if you want. Unless you got a handle on it, you can go ahead and do it. But basically suggesting that instead of changing the zoning to explore the possibility of doing it with a restrictive covenant with approved and, there's approved and prohibited uses, and those could be moved around just like we did with the Govalle church.
Mhm.
Well, I'll go and see if there's anybody else on the call who might want to have a question or make a comment. I'm just going to go down my list here. Does Dear Diary Coffee, I think it's Lisa, do you have any questions or comments for Rodney or Chap or staff?
Hey there. Yeah, my name's Lisa and I own Dear Diary Coffee in East Austin. And I just attended so I could learn how zoning works. So I'm just sitting in.
Okay. Well, I hope this is proving to be educational.
Thank you.
It's a fun process.
So the next person on my list is Lauren Kirkpatrick.
Yes, can you hear me all right?
Yes, I can.
I represent the owners of 914 Shady Lane, and we went through this process with Daniel a couple years ago regarding restrictive covenant. So I'm just here to listen and learn about what's going on with this 905 property.
Okay, thanks. And the last person on my list is Valerie. Valerie, do you have any questions or comments of anybody here on the call?
Thank you. No, I'm also with the Govalle Johnston Terrace contact team, and so I've just been listening because I know it's going to come to the whole group if it's a date. But I am just curious. So, and apologies, you might have already talked about this. I was a little late, but I see the house on the map, but then and I see the two buildings with the gray roofs. Now I see an open space behind the gray building in the middle. Is that also part of what do y'all own that land as well?
Maureen, can you pull up the map that shows the whole site?
This isn't it?
No, it
That's,
has the outline. Has the outline of the site
that's the
Oh,
Google
got
map.
Got it. Got it. Okay, here we go.
from your presentation. I think. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. Thank you.
So it's a very sizable lot. Is it
Right.
3/4 of an acre?
0.7.
It's narrow and deep.
So all of that would become impervious?
No, it would be whatever the limit is. That is an LO zoning. I think it's 50%. Rodney, please.
Give me one moment, I'll let you know.
Okay, it's Since they're requesting LO, it's won't be like it's CS, which is 95%.
Yeah, it's pretty small. Give me 1 second.
Okay, that was 50%, did you say?
I know I was spitballing that. It's something around there. And Rodney's looking it up.
Okay, great. Thank you.
I used to deal with zoning on a daily basis, but that's been several years ago, and other things have pushed that out of my brain.
The maximum impervious coverage on the LO zoning is 70%.
70%.
With a 50% building coverage. But at this time, we're not proposing any buildings there.
You already have buildings there, right?
No. Well, there's the house there.
Yeah.
But they have the existing union facilities.
Right,
Yeah.
right. On the adjacent.
Yes, yes. No, we are, as Rodney stated, we are not planning on building a structure on this property.
Okay.
Well,
Well, does anybody?
I'm sorry.
Mhm.
So, but will that house be demolished?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Well, does anybody else on the call have any comments and questions about topics that we haven't discussed to this point?
This is Lauren. Would parking be available when your union is not having meetings? Because I know Shady Lane is going to get even more crowded when NRP
Can we
finishes
use it?
their project. Not us. I'm not proposing a lease for 914, but I'm just curious. I've been by that parking lot many times, and it's always empty.
Yeah,
So just
it's
curious if there's a way to sort of help out the neighborhood, extra pressure for parking.
yeah, our busy time is September through May and 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. that Monday through Friday. That's when you see this parking lot is at capacity. So that's our busy time. Hey, we're willing to talk to anybody about we get a lot of groups, a lot of nonprofits that use our space during the day because, like I said, our activity is in the evening during the week.
Well, nobody has any other questions. Maureen, do you want to go over the next steps in the process and what people can expect from this point forward, at least from the city process side?
Yeah, let me put up my presentation so you can see my contact info here. Hold on. Okay, so this is my contact information. This is Jonathan, the zoning planner's contact information. So the next steps, once we get the information from Candace and Danielle, I'll communicate with Jonathan about what y'all are wishing to do and see if it's possible and get back to you guys. So at some point, once we get all this settled, we'll have a staff recommendation on the flum change and the zoning change. I'll report back to my team and the zoning planners, the discussion tonight, the questions, the concerns, etc. Once we finalize our staff recommendation, I will reach out to the planning contact team, let y'all know what planning commission date we're aiming for, and ask if y'all are ready to submit a letter of recommendation. And then the notices will go out for that public hearing 11 days prior to that hearing date. But if y'all want to keep in touch with me periodically on the status, feel free to reach out to me, just to keep a pulse on where the case is at that particular time.
Thank you, Maureen. So Candace, you'll communicate with Maureen about all this?
I think I need to pick your brain a little bit so I can
Okay,
make sure.
yeah, we can get together and put it together.
I put my contact information in the chat box. You know, just cut and paste it if you want.
Okay, thank you.
So it looks like we're wrapping up. And I say about meetings, they don't have to extend to the time allotted for them, so we can end early. That's always a bonus. So Rodney, do you have any final comments or statements, or Chap, do you have any final statements or comments before we say good evening? No? Okay.
Just to restate that, you know, we've been here a long time and we plan on being here. Our organization's 102 years old and we've been at this location for 58 years. And we're not planning on going anywhere and we want to be good neighbors. So.
Love it. Thank you.
Well, thanks, everybody.
If y'all have any questions, please just email me, text me, call me, however you need to get a hold of me.
Okay.
Thank you, Maureen.
End our meeting, and I'd like to express our gratitude for people coming out and taking some time out of their busy lives to find out about what's going on in your community. That's always refreshing for us as planners to hear what people have to say and what they think and feel. So with that, I wish everybody a good evening and see you at a future meeting, perhaps. Good night.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.